how you actually do buy it. What does it actually mean? Do buy it. It's just a big marketing situation. At first, it sounds like a catchy slogan. It is a philosophy, a way of existing actually when you are here in Dubai and understand the last couple of months. In my opinion, Dubai It is not just about Dubai. It's about how business can grow. They even launched the Dubai It Award, did you know? 5 stages of growth. And interestingly, the Dubai It philosophy can support every single one of them. A very warm welcome here to the podcast Skillionaires, the podcast where stories stick and strategies scale. And this podcast is something very special. I'm showing you and explaining you how you actually do buy it. So stay tuned and watch out for the inside tips that I have for you here. What does it actually mean? Do buy it. Have you ever heard about that? And why entrepreneurs need this mindset to do buy something? Okay, the mindset to scale. Have you ever heard about that saying? Do buy it? It's just a big iconic marketing situation that we have here in Dubai. And there's a good saying, do buy it. At first, it sounds like a catchy slogan, but then it's actually much more to that. It is a philosophy, a way of thinking, a way of building, a way of existing actually when you are here in Dubai and understand the last couple of months. And today I wanted to explain why I believe every entrepreneur can learn something from that and how to do buy it. Because in my opinion, do buy it is not just about Dubai, it's about how business can grow. Recently, the leadership of Dubai introduced the Dubai It initiative, encouraging individuals, companies, and institutions to embrace a culture of exceptional execution. They even launched the Dubai It Award, did you know? Which recognizes actually people and organizations that don't just have a great idea, but actually turn those ideas into measurable results with excellence and speed. Think about that for a second. That is actually something really outstanding. Most countries celebrate innovations. Dubai celebrates the execution. That is a very different mindset. And honestly, I think that's exactly why this city has become one of the fast-growing business hubs in the world. After moving from Germany to Dubai, I noticed something fascinating. People here don't usually ask, is it possible? They ask, how can we make it happen? Even more importantly, how quick it can be happen, or it can be made happen without compromising the quality. The mindset changes for this totally everything. Over the years, I've been realizing that every business goes through 5 stages of growth. And interestingly, the Dubai It philosophy can support every single one of them. Let's go through them. Stage 1 is the survival. Every entrepreneur starts here, and you exactly probably know what I'm talking about. You're trying to find customers, generate revenue, pay your bills, and you're wearing every single hat in the business at this stage. Perfection becomes your personal enemy. You don't need a perfect logo. You don't need the perfect website. You don't need another 6 months of planning. You need the momentum. Dubai It means take action, start, and improve while moving, because action creates confidence, and this is something totally different. When you are starting with confidence, you easily can turn into stage 2, which then is all about stability. Now, your business begins to work. Customers are coming in. The revenue is becoming more predictable, and you can somehow feel a little bit more safe and secure. But there is one more problem. You're still doing everything yourself. Did you ever realize that? And in this is where many entrepreneurs become the biggest bottleneck. The business is stagnating. Yeah, and the biggest bottleneck in their companies, that is something when you always get stuck in the operations. And do by it reminds us execution doesn't mean doing everything by yourself. Execution means building a business that works without depending on every day you being into the game for every minute and for every process. Build processes, delegate, and create a culture in which you are being able to work on your business, not inside your business. And stage 3 is when you stabilize everything and you are now reaching this certain plateau where you think, somehow it's not anymore growing or I'm grooving myself in. That is something that you then need to have stage 3. Building systems. Systems, this is where businesses actually either stay small or beginning to scale. Instead of asking, what should I do today? You start asking, what system should I build this with? That actually a problem that I have solved. What system should I build for this particular problem so this problem becomes never a problem again? And that is creating actually successful companies. They don't rely on heroic effort and you are patting your ego as a founder. They are relying on repeatable systems. It's nowhere a help if you are brag out there that you're working 12 hours a day. That is totally nonsense. Successful companies don't rely on heroic effort of yours in which you say you have worked today 12 hours and you brag about that and feel good because you have still this old pattern. The more you work, the more you will achieve and the more you might be worth. This is totally nonsense. Yeah, if you are relying on repeatable systems that are actually creating consistency, then you have some step done that is very beneficial because consistency creates growth, which then helps you in stage 4, scaling. This is something a lot of people don't even know. They think more sales means also I'm scaling. But now the things become really exciting. You stop thinking like a business owner and start thinking like a leader. You build a team, a culture, partnerships, visibility, and your personal brand becomes part of your business strategy. And this is where I believe many entrepreneurs misunderstand scaling. Scaling isn't about working harder. Scaling is also not about multiplying impact. Do by it philosophy fits perfectly here because execution creates momentum and the momentum creates exceptional growth. So, and that is actually where you then can expand. And this is stage 5. Now you're thinking beyond local markets, not only who can be my multiplicator here in my immediate network, but also who can be my new multiplicator in new countries, with new partnerships, new industries even. And this creates new opportunities. And this exactly is where the Middle East has become an incredible attractive market. The UAE has created an ecosystem where ambitious entrepreneurs can actually connect with investors, with global talents, innovations and programs, and also world-class infrastructure for growth. Grow here isn't just done by accident, it's designed. And when you combine the right strategies with the execution mindset. So what does do by it actually really means now? It means don't wait. Don't overthink. Make a decision. Don't let great ideas stay inside your notebook. This is totally nonsense. Turn them into reality. Execute, improve, and execute it again. And because ambitions without execution is just imagination. Execution creates momentum and momentum creates growth and the growth creates your freedom and your personal do by it moment. So the next time you hear someone says do by it, don't hear it as a slogan, hear it as a challenge. A challenge to stop waiting, actually. And maybe you also look a little bit behind the person's activities who says actually, I have do by it. To stop over planning, to start building actually, because business that will lead tomorrow won't necessarily be the one with the biggest ideas at this very moment, but they'll be the ones that execute those ideas better than everyone else. So it's not about biggest idea, but it's about the biggest momentum. And for that, even Dubai, did you know, had put it up an award. Best companies, best ideas, best projects who do by it with certain criteria you can apply and get actually the move on and show the whole world how you do by it here. So thank you for listening in this episode for the Skillionaire podcast. This is the episode with myself and my brainstorming for growth. And maybe it's time for you to do by it. Press the button and share this video if you hear somebody the next time who is bragging about do buying it. So I'm looking forward to see your comments under this video.